Hey Omri, Nev Lapidar from Snowboard Addiction, how's it going? Got a question here on backside 360s where you're going a little bit off axes and not quite sure what to do differently. So I've got a little bit of feedback here and I've got a comparison with one of Tavis's backside 360s from the same angle to help you out. So first off, we're going to watch your video. Here we go. Backside 360. And as you say, getting a little bit off balance. And we're going to watch one of Tavis's ones. I'm going to freeze frame yours and show you where you can improve it for going forward. So here we go, one of Tavis's ones. Cool. Now, I'm going to do a couple of freeze frames just to show you what's going on here, because your entry path is pretty good. You've got your heel edge here moving into the toe edge. But what you'll notice is that as you go off this jump, now I want you to think about when you do a straight air. When you do a straight air, you ollie off the jump and your weight transitions all the way until it's leaning downhill into the landing. So you kind of like, you pop, but the whole way through that pop, your weight's actually moving with the jump until it's with the downhill. And what happens on this right now is as you spin this 360, your weight right now, and I'll draw a diagram just to show you, your weight is like this, but as you go through the air, your weight is staying on that motion. There's no movement where your body is transitioning to that new landing. So now I know that's quite a tricky thing to fix, but if we watch through Tavis's one, here we go, and you'll see as he goes off that lip, right now his body is in the same angle as yours was to start, but then as he comes through to the landing, his body now is in line with the landing. So he's making more of a transition throughout. So a couple of things on what you can do to help with that transition is I would say, how are your back ones? Because a lot of people when they do back ones will go off, especially when they're learning, they'll go off their back one and they will land very tail heavy. So very much heavy on their switch back foot and popping on the switch nose of their board and flying out. So I would say if you do a bunch of back ones and it helps transition your weight to get into that new landing, that is really going to help because you'll be able to take that same motion of doing a straight air and doing a 180 and putting that into your 360. Now, there's something else that's going on as well. The next thing that's going on is that as you leave the lip, you're not getting as much rotation as Tavis. What I mean by that is that you'll see that the first part of your spin is smooth, but then it really slows down. And the last part of your spin, where you're coming around for the 3, you're just kind of floating with the air. You're not actually spinning anymore. So most of your spin is happening at the start, that first 180, and then it's just floating around. You're not actually really spinning the second half as much. Whereas if you watch Tavis, he's able to hold a consistent spin the whole way through that jump. So his upper and lower body are able to spin together through the whole 360. That's one of the things that's really going to help you, is that if you had a consistent spin all the way through, your legs would be able to come through better. Now you'd still be weight on the back foot, but you would be able to get your legs back under you in this position instead of what was happening on this jump. Now, a couple of ways you can practice this. One, if you do have access to a trampoline and you practice a bunch of back 3s on the tramp and even back 5s on the tramp, what you want to focus on is being able to spin together with your upper and lower body smoothly spinning together throughout the spin, because that'll help to be able to get those legs right back under you for the 360, which is what you're having trouble on this time. And really with Tavis, he's able to hold that 360 together all the way through the spin. So, 2 aspects to work on here. One, we want to see if we can get a smooth release that you can hold throughout that whole spin instead of most of the momentum happening on the first 180, which is what happened on yours. Best thing to do for that, see if you can get a whole bunch of 3s on a trampoline if you have access to a tramp. Or see if you can get a whole bunch of 360s on a side hit, but focus on smooth. Now, what you can do is you can practice doing a grab. If you can't do a grab, you could grab the side of your pants or you could grab the side of your jacket. so that throughout your 360, your upper body and lower body are moving together. And then the other thing we want to try is we want to try to transition your weight throughout that jump so that it moves into the new landing orientation. And what I would highly recommend is do a bunch of back ones. If you've already got back ones dialed, send them to me. I want to see it. I want to see, are you landing back foot heavy, or are you really landing with that weight into that new transition? Hopefully those 2 tips will help. These are both tips that are going to help improve your backside 360 and try to get you on balance rather than off axis. This is Neville Appert from Snowboard Addiction. Our goal is to improve your riding.